about how to start your business today. We are joining forces with Imad. Imad, it's an entrepreneur and a specialist in building different businesses. He has mentored more than 20 startups, and he's the instructor of Module 7 on leadership. Today, he's going to give you really value. So this is going to be really valuable experience. So hello, Imad. Happy 2024. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, Pablo. Thanks for asking.
Perfect. I guess you must be looking forward to starting, but you will need to wait for some minutes because first of all, we want to share with you guys more valuable content and the experience of Yusr Sabra, co-founder and CEO of Wakilni, a logistics and service partner company. Hello, Yusr. Happy 2024. How are you today?
I'm doing great as well. Thank you, Pablo. And thank you for having me. Hi, Imad.
No, thanks to you for having us and to stay with us. Yusur had a different background because before founding Wakilni, because he holds a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and work and operations and work for as an operations and maintenance area manager for Solidaire for over 7 years, and until March of last year she was the president of the Lebanese League of Women in Business. But today we are talking about Wakilni and your experience as co-founder of the company. So tell us, please, what was the origin of Wakilni, and was it originally meant to be the kind of business which is today?
Not at all. And you can tell from the name, actually. So wakilni, it's an Arabic word. It means delegate to me. And it was supposed to actually be a sort of a B2C concierge service. So in Lebanon, moving around is pretty not a lot of fun, a lot of traffic. Going and doing governmental transactions is a very big hassle. And the concept was to create a sort of a concierge service. You call a number, you WhatsApp them or whatever, and you ask people to run, or you ask the service to run your errands, basically. And this was, we very quickly actually realized that the business makes much more sense to be a B2B business. So our demand was coming from other businesses. We were located back then, so that was around 2014, 15. We were located in the Beirut Digital District. It was starting to, the ecosystem was starting to come together, and we were surrounded by other businesses, and it literally came from a request from a business that was our neighbor to actually run their paperwork. And I realized that, you know what, it makes more sense to target businesses than individuals, because businesses bring you predictable volumes on monthly basis and recurrent business. And this was the start of the pivot. And since then, we've obviously added on, understood ourselves more and more, understood the business needs, and developed the business to what it is today.
And what have you learned on the go, and what were the biggest mistakes which gave you the best knowledge?
Obviously, there are a lot of learnings, continuous learnings. One of the major learnings is the need to really, I always say this, to really understand your unit economics very well. It's very easy at the start to just be focused on the product. I want to sell my first 2 clients, figuring out the processes, worrying about whom to hire. But until you sit and understand, and what I mean by unit economics, it means what is it taking you to produce and sell 1 unit of what you're doing. So understanding your gross margins, does it make sense or not from the start? So this was a very big one, because also for me, it didn't come naturally. I had to literally almost like force myself to sit and understand my numbers and face the reality and make tough decisions based on what I understood in order to drive the business to sustainability. That was, and one of the major mistakes we did at one point is we had partnered with a business that was driving a lot of volume to us, and we're very happy with that. But it got to a stage where they became 70% of our volume, and they were growing, so we were growing with them. And it took us also a while, it took me personally a while to understand that they were driving our growth. It was a single client, 70%. And then at one point we disagreed on the price because we understood our unit economics. We understood that as they were growing, we were losing money per order, and we needed to change the pricing. And we lost overnight this client, and we lost with them 70% of the business. And one of the very key learnings that we had since then is to always diversify where our revenue is coming from. And we track this on daily basis. So today, it's very important for us that even if our top 20% or the clients that bring us 20% of our business leave, we are able to remain sustainable.
I see. Right now, just thinking of the current situation of Wakim, the current status, what is the company moving forward to? How is it evolving, the company?
So maybe like 3-4 years ago, what we would have defined ourselves as would be we are last mile delivery service providers. And then that became 3PL, so we also do warehousing. Now we understand that we are building the infrastructure platform that supports e-commerce businesses in the region. And this is what we're doing. We're creating one layer after the other. So the last mile delivery is one layer, the warehousing is another layer. We're just launching the marketplace. We are unlocking B2C. We're going to be offering financial services on the platform. So all of these are the needed infrastructure for the ecosystem. And then we're replicating these in different markets to connect the different together. And this is very much needed for SME businesses that have a lot of trouble in growing beyond the borders. So they have limited options in terms of how they can grow beyond borders. And this is where we're heading, inshallah.
So talking about expansion, you are looking for working with more verticals, but what about the expansion plans outside Lebanon? Is something in place right now?
Yeah, so correct. So what I told you was is the vertical expansions, but we're also have in mind the horizontal expansions. And we have successfully, took us 2 years to set up in Jordan. It's a very long process. So people tell you expand, it's like it's going to happen overnight. It doesn't. But we have officially started delivering in Jordan. We have moved a few members of our team there. We have hired our first team members from Jordan, and we started basically operating there. We've also expanded into the UAE market using a different business model. So we believe that we can apply different business models in different markets. And what we've done there is we found a like-minded logistics partner that we created a good, strong partnership with. And today we link our clients. So the SME clients that we work with in Lebanon alone cannot go and operate in the UAE, even if they could with these with the partners. It's a bit complicated to understand all the details. We simplify the process for them. We take over a lot of parts of the how to do the business basically, and this is how we've expanded into UAE. And we have now is the stage where we're also exploring other markets, understanding what would be a good fit for us as a next move.
Okay, and apart from this challenge, what are the other challenges that your company is facing right now?
You know, operating in Lebanon alone is a very big challenge. You always have to
of course.
look for the next panic mode, and that's a very big challenge. You have to balance everything. You have to balance your it's good I'm on 3G, loss of power. It's one of the challenges.
Okay, no problem.
Really one of the challenges, right on time. So now with all the security situation, we literally need to stay on our toes at all times. We have offices in the south area. Our drivers are delivering in dangerous zones, basically. We might have an interruption in business. This affects us. It affects our community of clients. So we have this in mind a lot. That's one. Second, we're it's not, I wouldn't call it, it's always a challenge to fundraise. And to fundraise when you're operating in Lebanese and Jordanian markets is another challenge by itself. So I would say mainly these two things.
Mhm. Okay, and now in a few words, why is Wakilni a successful company?
I always say this, it's because of the people behind it. We have a really, really good team. We focused from day one on building the right culture. Literally from day one, when we were just a few people, we would talk about our values. We were focused on building the right relationships among the team, and that's extremely important. Obviously, everything else is very important: technology, processes, making the right decisions, picking the right partners. But when things become difficult, and became difficult through many times, COVID, Beirut explosion, all of those, what really pulled us through was the team, and the team spirit always appears. Clients feel it, clients know it. It's the team that innovates. It's the team that comes up with solutions to the problems. So I think it's the team.
Well, that was really great from you, your experience, to share your experience with us, and thanks for staying with us for this time. And well, it was a real pleasure to have you today, Yusr. So well, have a nice one, and well, good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Yusr. And I want to reflect on something you said, which resonates deeply inside of me. Something I always say, that your biggest client becomes your employer, and that's a threat. And we face the same problem, because we used to think that having a client who's bringing 60 or 70% of the business is great, until you lose them and you realize you were just employed for that client. So that's the first lesson from the beginning to all the people here, whether they have a business or starting a business, that as much as it's interesting and exciting to have a big client, the big fish, it's also the highest risk. So thank you, Yusr. I also want to reflect further on two things that you did, which are also learning lessons here. You started from understanding the need. You realize there's a need, and I know we always say that, but what I've seen with working with startups and entrepreneurs is that people are more interested in offering a solution than understanding the need. I'm going to repeat this. People are more interested in offering a solution than understanding the need. And so, this is something I want to touch point on. The next thing is what you did was pivoting, right? Don't be obsessed with one thing and one solution. If you find it as an obstacle, or if it's not going anywhere, just pivot, just change it, just change the business model, change the market, change the approach, etc. So just reflecting on what you said, Yusr, thank you so much.
Thank you. Sure.
So Pablo, what's next for us tonight?
Well, now it's your turn, Imad. So let me introduce you, Imad, a bit. He's founder and coach at Succeed and Lead since 2010, a corporate trainer in Canada and the MENA region.
Don't worry. I'll do that part. I'll present myself. Don't worry.
Well, he's a rock star. So go ahead.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can everyone share my screen? If you can see my screen, please type yes in the chat. So if you can see my screen, please type yes in the chat. I need to know that everyone can see my screen. So I see Christelle, Basil, Colette, Tabir responding, Samer, Noor. Perfect. Who else? Who else is there? So I haven't heard your voices. I haven't seen your faces, but at least I can see you texting me. So that's a good way of doing it. Now, of course, for the sake of making this as human as possible and to optimize our experience together, I will remind you that if it's possible, open your cameras, because I need to see your beautiful faces and to interact with you as much as possible. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and go forward with my presentation. So I want to take a moment to thank everyone for being here. And the reason is that you made a decision, and making the decision is such a great such a great honor in entrepreneurship, and I'm going to emphasize on it in a few minutes. But remember that word, decision. So I wanna again congratulate you for being here, for making the time, for committing, because we have more members, more people who signed up for this webinar but didn't make it tonight. So thank you for that. Now, in brief, for those who know me, I can see that I know a lot of people here. I know Bato, Cristal, Bara, Marianne, Colette, Hussein, etc. But for the others, also Abir, for the others, let me reintroduce yourself and why am I here today and why it's important to share with you. So for those who know me, I work in the coaching and training industry, and I've been doing this for the past 10 years. Now, what we're going to do tonight is there's a lot of gurus, there's a lot of coaches out there, and when I hear their videos, when I see their webinars, they share a lot of advice that doesn't work for either our country or our community, or it's very theoretical. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to be as authentic, as genuine as possible by, number one, sharing what I did. So I need to walk the walk with you. So instead of telling everyone, go do this and go do that, I'm going to tell you what I did, because I need to be an example. I need to be a product of my own coaching or teaching. And number two, after coaching more than 20 startups in Lebanon and abroad, and a lot of them are successful. So there's a lot of experience that I want to share with you today. Now, again, I studied engineering. So I came to the coaching and training industry from the engineering. My slogan is from telecom to transformation. I finished my master's of engineering at Concordia University in 2010. And today, this is the education that I hold, and it's very important because you need to know the credibility of whoever is offering you something or whoever is sharing information with you, again, because this industry is manifested by gurus. Lately, I became a certified corporate director. So I sit on different boards in different organizations, and I acquired this from the IFC, International Finance Corporation. During COVID, I did something interesting. So I took some advantage of my time, and I signed up for a program on Harvard Business School online, and I studied something called Entrepreneurship Essentials. So I got the theoretical framework of entrepreneurship, but also the practical experience of building my own businesses and coaching other businesses. And then we have leadership, etc., other certifications. And in 2018, I was named #1 life coach influencer on social media by an agency, by a Right Services marketing agency, etc. I've coached more than 7,000 people. I'm going to go as fast as possible. These are some of my accreditations, international accreditations. I wrote 3 books, and for those in Lebanon, I would urge you to go to the nearest Matic or Antoine and grab a copy of this book, Mysteries of Transformation. And I know a lot of you had read them. I created 4 online courses. One of them is called the Leaders Bootcamp. I participated in the Leaders Bootcamp, and it's something we are going to be sharing with you tonight as well. We have a lot of surprises for you. This is one of them. And so the Leaders Bootcamp is bringing to you this webinar tonight. I created 2 different businesses, Succeed and Lead and Talented. We've worked with top clients in Lebanon and MENA region. These are some of the names. We have my company, Succeed and Lead, which is also registered in UAE, have partnerships with such companies and institutes. For example, IZA Business School, Jamiat Abu Dhabi University, Bonar Institute for Leadership, Ras Al Khaimah Government. So we're talking about well-established company. And so I'm bringing all this experience of how I did it, again, because I want to walk the walk with you. This is not just talking the talk. And for those who also don't know me, I have 55 recommendations on LinkedIn and more than 100 recommendations or reviews on Facebook. So again, these are real people with real results. I'm also a proud member of something called Board All Virtual Advisory Board, and whoever is interested in becoming an advisor needs to ask me about what does it mean to become a virtual advisory board. And I also sit as the chair of an organization based in Kenya called Humanity for Sustainable Development. Now, these are my information. If anyone want to get in touch, just take a photo of it, take a screenshot, and let me move further. So I'm only introducing this to you just so you know who's the person presenting this to you tonight. It's very important to establish this credibility as we move forward. Now, of course, I would ask you to connect with me on LinkedIn, Imad Abou Khalil, and on my professional page, also Imad Abou Khalil. Let me share, I'm going to start by sharing this journey with you and to deduce the lessons, just like we deduced the lessons with Yusr. So Yusr shared her story, and then from the story, we deduced the lesson. This is what makes the story as plausible and as genuine as possible. So in 2008, I graduated from Jamiat Beirut Al-Arabiya, Beirut Arab University, and I received on the same day a letter to the mailbox of my dad, because in Lebanon I didn't have a mailbox. My dad had the job, and his job had a mailbox. So I received two letters. One of them that says, "Congratulations, you've been accepted to the master's program in Concordia University," and another one that I've been accepted as an engineer, because again, I was an engineer at one of the leading consulting companies in UAE called Drake and Skull. And this is 2008, before the UAE crisis. Why am I telling you this? Because that moment was very important to me, and again, to the decisions, and again, to why I congratulated you for being here, because you took a decision. So now, looking back to 2008, that's 15 years or 16 years back, that decision of actually going to Canada and not going to Dubai, doing a master's degree and not working engineering, that decision shaped my destiny, because it took me to Canada, it took me to North America. I had a different mindset. I had to go out and experience life differently and work differently, etc. And why am I telling you this? Because I know tonight or today that a lot of you aren't taking the decisions that you need to take. And your next level in your business and is just a decision away. And I know some of you have been thinking for a long time for starting their own business, and then have been saying that this is not the right time, it's not the right economy, etc. And they haven't taken the decision yet. So there's not going to be any business if you haven't taken any decision yet. If this resonates with you, type yes in the box. If this resonates with you, if you're someone who haven't taken a decision to start their business, or if you're someone who haven't actually started working on their business, or if you're someone who haven't taken the decision to take their business to the next step, type yes in the comments. And for those, who, that's good. That's good that it resonates with you, because this is why I started with the decision. Nothing changes without a decision. So decision shapes your destiny. And me now looking back 16 years and 15 years back, imagine the power of that decision that shaped my destiny today. So that's number one. Number two, when I arrived to Montreal, I had to work different things. My parents were supporting me, but I also had to support myself. So because I didn't have a work permit, I was on a student visa. I was eligible to work for 20 hours per week. So what did I do? One of the things I did, I worked at Subway. And I'm sure a lot of you have tried the Subway sandwich. The position I applied for was called a sandwich artist. So I used to be a sandwich artist. I used to prepare sandwiches. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I also realized the same thing what Yusr did, that nothing goes in vain, which means that experience in Subway was very important to me to shape my mindset, but also to shape my understanding of business. Because one thing the Subway experience taught me is it's not about how I like to make the sandwich, it's how the client likes the sandwich to be done. Again, It's not about how I like to do the sandwich. It's not about how I like to do the steak sandwich or veggie sandwich. It's about how the client will choose a different bread, a different chicken, etc. Which also comes back to entrepreneurship. I see a lot of mistakes being done where us entrepreneurs being focused on our solution, whereas the focus, the obsession, not the focus, the obsession should be on solving the need for the client. And I know this makes sense to everyone, but it's a very, very, very common mistake. A lot of times I ask people, why did you come up with a solution? Why did you come up with the idea? And they say, because I like it, because I'm passionate about it. Well, passion is important, but also the market need is also more important, because at the end of the day, when you hit reality, when you lose in business, you lose because of the reality of the market, regardless what your passion is. Even if you're passionate about something, but that doesn't have a need in the market, so you're not going to find a market for it. And for each of you that has a solution they want to offer, I want to challenge you with love and respect. I want to challenge you to tell me, why this solution? Is it based on need? Did you do a market study? If not a market study, what I invite you to do, and take notice of this, is called the 5 steps of design thinking. And the 5 steps of design thinking, starts with one pinnacle, the one cornerstone, which is called empathy. And by empathy means you have to put yourself in the client's shoes. And let me give you an example, because now this sounds theoretical. So I was coaching a startup who was working in the agriculture industry, and they wanted to offer farmers a lot of solution regarding agriculture. And so I told them, well, tell me what do you know about the need of the farmers? Tell me what do you know about their challenges, pain, etc. They had no idea. They only had an idea and a solution about what they're presenting. They only had an idea about their solution, but they didn't have an idea about the pain. And you know what I suggested to them? I suggested to them, the farmers in Bika, I suggested to them to go live there in Bika for 2 weeks at least, and try to wake up at 4 a.m. with the farmers, visit the farmers, try to farm with them, try to spend the day with them, listen to their needs. And you know what happened? Their solution, their whole solution changed, because it exposed to them pains and needs that they were not aware of. So point number 1, you have to be willing to change your perspective from obsession about your solution to obsession about the needs of the client. Now back to the subway toilet. As shitty, and allow me to say that, as a subway toilet could be, on a Saturday night around 3 a.m. I finished my shift and I had to go home. But in subway or in hospitality in general, when you finish your shift, you gotta clean the tables and toilets, etc. So I was cleaning the toilet that night, and I cracked down. I started crying. I fell down on my knees, and I started thinking. I started questioning life itself. I started asking myself, I could have been an engineer in UAE working with Drake and Skull, one of the biggest consulting companies, right? I started questioning the decision I took. And why am I telling you this? Because I'd rather that you take a decision and question it later than you keep posing on it and questioning it today. So the time you're spending questioning your decision today, I'd rather you take a decision, move forward, and then question it later. And I did question it. And I thought to myself, like, what the hell am I doing here in a toilet at 3 a.m. on a Saturday night? Everyone is partying, and I'm cleaning someone else's shit. That's what I was doing, literally. It made me question life itself. But I needed that moment. I needed to be there. I needed to be in that toilet existentially to question everything. And why am I telling you this? Because whatever is happening in the world, in Gaza, in Lebanon, everything that's happening it's a subway toilet. It's that ugly, shitty place that we're going through today, that needs to make us question everything, question our existence, and question what we're doing. Question whether we're going to continue with our employment. Question whether we're going to start the new business we're going to start or not. Take that decision or not. Jump that or not. And a lot of times entrepreneurship is about jumping from a plane and then building the parachute. A lot of you are looking for a parachute. A lot of you are looking for a net to land on, but entrepreneurship doesn't work that way. A lot of times you're gonna jump, and as you're falling down, you're gonna build that net, that safety net. So from the subway toilet, that lesson was your breakdown is your path to your breakthrough. Again, your breakdown was the path to your breakthrough, because that moment that I still remember very clearly, it gave me more clarity about what I want in life. It gave me more clarity about taking that decision. And so I know a lot of you are living in Lebanon. A lot of you are facing a lot of challenges. And so there's a lot of breakdown. I'm one of the many people who lost their money, all their money in the banks in 2019. That was a breakdown. The revolution, the bombing, everything that's happening is such a breakdown. But it's not about the breakdown. It's about how you handle it. And why am I telling you this? Because entrepreneurship is more about the mindset than the mechanics. I'm going to repeat this. Entrepreneurship is more about the mindset than the mechanics, which means mechanics, I'm going to give you the mechanics in a bit. I'm going to tell you about the business canvas. I'm going to tell you about the design thinking. I'm going to tell you all about the Ikigai. I'm going to tell you all about the MVP, minimum viable product, the lean startup. All of that are mechanics. But if you can't fix the mindset, you cannot fix the mechanics. The mindset fixes the mechanics. Even with the best mechanics, even with the best car, if you don't have the right engine, if you don't have the right fuel, it's not going to work. So, and I'm going to emphasize later on this in something called the 4 Ps entrepreneurship. So I created something called the 4 Ps entrepreneurship, because people get obsessed with a logo and a design and a branding, and Colette does this. So no offense for that, Colette. I know you do this, which is amazing. That's the mechanics part. Of course, you need to have a logo. Of course, you need to have a website. Of course, you have to have clients and Instagram and sponsor that and all of that. But if your mindset isn't in the right place, if you're going to fall at the first challenge, Yusr had many challenges. I've known her at least since 2017. So for the past 6 years, I hosted her in many of my workshops. I've seen her, how she faced all the challenges there are. And that's why she's here between us today. That's why she's expanding in Jordan. That's why now she has partnership in UAE, because it wasn't just the mechanics. It was her. It was her mindset. So, ACID tutoring 2010. While working in Subway, that made me change a lot of things. And one of the things I changed is looking inward in myself. And so I thought, before fixing the world, before fixing everyone, before fixing the business, let me fix myself. And so I started looking inside myself. And this is what you need to do, because Ikigai, the concept of Ikigai, which I'm sure you're familiar with, the 4 circles of passion, market, etc. It's all about focusing on yourself. So I said to myself, well, I'm good with communication. I'm good with teaching. I'm doing my master's. Why not apply to become a teaching assistant? So I became a teaching assistant at Concordia University for one of the engineering, the most difficult engineering courses. Now, long story short, people started calling me saying, well, you're a great tutor, but do you have another tutor for that topic? Something in business, something in accounting, something in biology. And so I said, well, there's a need there. People are coming to me with their problem, with their pain. So I created something called ACID tutoring. It's a tutoring service, right? It's a tutoring service where students, university students, come to us for private teaching. So everyone who had a difficulty at university, we will help them privately. And so I had 10 to 12 TAs, teaching assistants, or private tutors who would teach different courses. So that was the logo. And funnily, before every exam, well, we used to tell our students, we hope you ace it. So hence the logo, hence the brain, because we're working on the brain. And I don't think we still have the website. I'm going to tell you why in a moment. But then the mechanics came, the logo, the colors, etc. And I hope you like it, because it was my first business baby 10 years ago, roughly 12 years ago. And there's another lesson behind this. ACID tutoring did a did a promotion that I was proud of before. Today, I'm not proud of it because for me, business is about also ethics and humanity. And we hear a lot about something called ESG, which is environment, society, and governance. We hear a lot about something called SDG, which is sustainable development goals. We hear a lot about something called CSR, which is corporate social responsibility. So for me, business is more about social and humanity. And today, I don't think Starbucks is practicing any of that humanity. So today, I am boycotting Starbucks. But then, at that time, I was proud that ACID Tutoring did a partnership with Starbucks. And let me tell you more about this. So how did I get Starbucks to distribute 600 Frappuccinos for free under ACID Tutoring? Now, I need to make sure you're still with me here, you're still listening to me, because I'm very excited to share this business lesson with you, how I got ACID Tutoring to partner with Starbucks. And we know how huge Starbucks is. So if you can still hear me, if you're still excited to hear the story, please type yes in the comments. Yes in the comments so I can continue the story. Perfect. So I didn't have money to have an office for ACID Tutoring. And I used to sit at Starbucks like everyone else. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do it every single day, whether at night, whether in the morning, to do work, to meet people, to tutor my students, etc. And because of that, I was able to connect with baristas and more importantly, with the manager and more importantly, with the client. I understood them very, very, very well to the point where I became a loyal customer. And part of that, it had privileges, and Starbucks, that Starbucks where I used to sit, gave me so many privileges. One of them, they gifted me the book called Onward by Howard Schultz, the ex-CEO of, the infamous CEO of Starbucks. And I read the book, I understood his culture, I understood his thinking. But more importantly, the manager of that store, every store has a manager. He was called Louis, and he used to sit with me, and I used to sit with him because I became a customer, a loyal customer. And sometimes I would, in a way, smartly know their problems, know what's on their P&L, know what pains they're facing. Let me tell you one of their problems. Montreal is a student city. So most people in Montreal are students, international students especially. There are different universities. One of them is Concordia, where I went to. One of them is McGill. In summer, students, barely register to summer courses, barely, compared to winter, which means Starbucks that are next to that university, Starbucks that is next to a university would have less customers because their main customers come from the university. So in summer, they didn't have much students and their P&L wasn't good. They were losing money. Now, you could never know this, ever sit down and understand their pain to the core, right? You can assume as much as you want, but now what I just told you, that little detail, you could never have guessed it if you didn't really try to dig deeper into the pain of that particular store, which was next to the university. And so I came to Louis and I said, well, I'm going to help you improve and increase your sales. And he asked me how, and I said, you're going to distribute 600 Frappuccinos for free inside the library of Concordia University. So he asked me how I'm going to make money if this is for free. And then he asked me, what's in it for you? So I told him what's in it for me. On the sleeve of the cappuccino cup, we're going to insert ACID Tutoring business card. So that's my promotion. And then he said, okay, great, but how am I going to make money if we're distributing 600 Frappuccinos for free? And I said, I promise you that me and all ACID Tutoring tutors, we will sit down at your store during all the exam period in summer, and all our teaching, all our tutoring, all our students, day and night, we will conduct them at your store. And you know what happened? What happened is history. What happened is during that summer exam period, me and the other 10 or 12 tutors, we conducted all our tutoring services inside Starbucks. And then the sales went for that store for 2.5 times. They were super happy about it. We increased the sales. Now, it was also good for me because we promoted ACID tutoring, because people started calling us from the guard that we put inside the sleeves, and they asked for more tutors, and then our sales increased. And that's all what it took. Now, if you think that the story ends here, you might be mistaken. And that taught me a great lesson. When you become fearless, you become limitless. Again, when you become fearless, you become limitless. Because at that point, you know, after the subway incident, I had nothing to lose. Because for me, I lost everything. For me, I lost, you know, the future of becoming the next engineer, etc. And why am I telling you this? Because fear is one of the main issues that faces us entrepreneurs, especially the mindset part, not the mechanics part. You know what's preventing you from taking the next step? It's fear. What's preventing you from taking the next step is the what if question. What if I fail? What if I lose the money? What if Lebanon this happens? What if explosion? What if someone laugh at me? If it's the what if, and between the what if and the what is lies your victory. Again, between the what if and the what is, which is reality, which is the accomplishment, which is what Yusr did, lies your reality. So, guess what happened? Comes to me for another promotion. We did another promotion in Halloween. So this is the actual promotion we did with Starbucks. We did a contest, etc. So Starbucks loved that I'm bringing them clients. My clients are students. Their clients are students. It's a win-win situation. This is what Yusr was saying about the partners in Dubai, because the partners in Dubai have a similar clientele. So sometimes in business, try to look for partners. Don't try to do it alone. This partner could be part of the equity of your company. So it could be 50-50 inside the company. Or in my case, for example, I own 100% of Succeed and Lead. You can do partnership with other people, partnership with the Leaders Bootcamp, partnership with all the partners that I've shown you. IZA, Abu Dhabi University, etc. All these are partners. So don't try to, you know, recreate the wheel on your own. Try to have partners because they have the clients you're looking for. And in this case, I have the clients they're looking for. So we did another also promotion. Now, if you think it's done, no, it's not. Again, when Starbucks around 2010 to 2011, and again, this is not at no time a promotion for Starbucks. Again, today I boycott them. But again, there's a lot of business lessons out of this that I'm trying to bring from my own experience because I walk the walk. I learned that Starbucks has another pain, another problem. In 2011, 2012, also the CEO was talking about it when they introduced the sandwiches. Then 10 or 12 years ago, Starbucks didn't have sandwiches. It was weird for clients and customers who walked in for coffee to have Starbucks. And I'm not sure if you've ever faced this, but 10 to 12 years back, they faced that problem. And one of the problems was that the sandwiches, the aroma from the sandwiches would get stuck to the oils of the beans, and it changes the quality and the flavor of the beans. And also the Starbucks CEO talked about it. So I came to Lewis and I said, how are the sandwiches selling? And he said, not good. And I told him, what if I can help you sell the sandwiches? And what you see in front of you is a promotion, again, between ACID Tutoring and Starbucks, who I boycott today. But again, that's a promotion where we promoted their sandwiches. What's in it for us? We promoted the sandwiches for our students. So our students find value. And this is called the USP, because people look for USPs all the time, unique selling proposition, or UVP, unique value proposition, or the magic potion, whatever you want to call it. Whatever reason, I'm going to go to Samir, and I'm not going to go to Karam. Whatever reason, I'm going to go to Noor, I'm not going to go to Crystal. That's called the unique selling proposition. So why do students want to come to us? Why do students want to come to ACID Tutoring? Because we're here for them when they're studying. We're giving them Frappuccino. we're with them in the fun of the contest We're here with them with the sandwiches. So we're eating with them, we're studying with them, we're drinking with them, we're creating a community with them. And so Louis asked me, how are you going to do this? What's in it for us? And I said, well, we're going to give a coupon to our students, the free sandwich with every Frappuccino. What does that mean? And this is another business lesson. People were afraid of buying the sandwich because it's something new to us. And people and your clients, your customers will resist something new. Okay? Only 5 to 10% are called early adopters. Early adopters are the first 5 to 10% who adopt your business. The others will resist it. Like everything new, when ChatGPT came into the place, when ChatGPT was public, only 5 to 10% were using it. When NFTs, Bitcoins, 10 to 12 years ago, when Bitcoin was public, only 5 to 10% were using it. Those people are called early adopters. Now, 95% of people are using it. 80% of people are using it. Depends on the product. Now everyone is adopting it. So anyway, why am I telling you this? Because at the beginning, the sandwiches didn't have a lot of early adopters. People resisted it. People wanted to have sandwiches somewhere else. So what I did a promotion where with every Frappuccino, people can get a free sandwich. Why a free sandwich? Because there's no harm. I'm not taking a risk. I'm buying a Frappuccino anyway, and I'm getting a free sandwich. If I like it, I'm a customer now. If I don't like it, I'm not going to throw it away. I'm either going to give it to a friend that might become a customer, or I'm going to give it to a homeless, and that's social work, right? Long story short, again, the sales boosted. So this is just the Starbucks experience I want to share with you. And again, then I was very happy that someone who didn't study business, someone who didn't go to business school, someone who barely started his own business, ACID Tutoring, did a promotion with one of the leading, Starbucks, the company it is. 2012, I grew ACID Tutoring to the point where I sold it. And why am I telling you this? Because when I wanted to sell ACID Tutoring, and I'm sure if someone resonates with this, can tell me further, selling your company is like selling your baby. It's very harsh. We don't want to do it because we're so romantically, emotionally attached to it. We think it's our baby. I grew it. Why I want to sell it? Now in business, sometimes you want to grow the business to the point where you fully own it, but sometimes you want to grow to the business where you do an exit. And in business terms, this is called an exit strategy. An exit strategy is when you grow the business to the point where you just sell it and then use the money to start the next business. So I call it a dream funding, which means I grew ACID Tutoring to the point where it funded my next dream. Again, if you haven't taken a decision, take the decision today. Because even if your current business failed, it doesn't matter. The money you make out of it can become the dream fund, which is the fund for the dream you're working on, etc. So I sold ACID Tutoring, and that was it. And that was such a learning experience for me because there's a lot of emotion in entrepreneurship compared to employment. In employment, you have stress. You go to work, you have some stress related to work. But with entrepreneurship, it's continuous. You got to worry about everything, your clients. You got to worry about the market, the logo, the website. And I'm sure a lot of you resonate there. So entrepreneurship is continuous managing of your own emotions. If the clients signed up, if the clients didn't sign up, if someone didn't like the service, etc. So sometimes you have to lose everything you thought you needed to receive everything you deserve to have. I'm going to repeat this again. Sometimes you must lose everything you thought you needed to receive everything you deserve to have. I thought I'm going to be doing ACID Tutoring forever. I thought I was destined to manage ACID Tutoring forever, etc. Until one day, a big company called ACE Tutoring, it was completely new, called ACE Tutoring, who had a similar logo. They parked their car in front of the John Malson Business School. I'm giving you details for credibility. So John Malson Business School is a business school related to Concordia, and they parked there with a big flyer that says ACE Tutoring. Number one, people thought it was us. Number two, they parked in the middle of the Concordia University campus. And for that, they were paying daily fines, because when you park in a restricted area, you pay daily fines. And they did it over a month, every single day during exams. But they didn't care, because the fines were more important, were less expensive than the marketing. Because if you had to spend marketing to target these students, you would even pay less in fines. So they want to pay fines. بالعربي لما شبرح, they were like, you know what, screw it, رح ندفع الفines, and it's still cheaper than marketing. And that's what they did. So they parked their car on the campus of John Malson Business School. They took that risk, and people thought it was us. And what happened is, the owner, called David, calls me, and he said, well, listen, we need to sit down. I know that you're the owner of ACE Tutoring, but we have another idea in mind, etc. Let's sit down. So I sit down with the guy, and he was blunt about it. He said, listen, we don't come from a tutoring background. We come from an automotive background. We used to own cars, and we sell cars in Toronto. And so we need you to be here with us, to support us, to be our partner, etc. And then they said, whatever money they're making at ACE Tutoring, we're going to pay it for you, but you work for us, we do this partnership. Anyway, long story short, I didn't do that partnership for so many reasons that has to do with ethical practice. But these are some of the challenges and opportunities you can find in business, which is you grow your business to the point where other people will find it tempting to eat you out. And it's a challenge. And I'm sure you face it in business. Other people will copy you. Other people will try to imitate you. And that's why I started the conversation with there's a lot of fake gurus and fake coaches out there, and you got to watch out. And same thing, there's a lot of fake Louis Vuitton out there. There's a lot of fake Adidas out there. So everything is being copied, and you got to be very fast and very assertive when doing business. So anyway, ACE Tutoring is done. It's now history. And I said, what am I going to do next? I took my experience from ACE Tutoring, and then I started going into the coaching industry, and I created something called Career Mentorship Program. What was that? I started mentoring students on the career. So first, I was teaching them at university, but then when they graduated, they don't have the same need we talked about at the beginning. The need has changed for your customers. Have you ever thought of this? The need that your customer has today might change tomorrow. So what do you do with your product or your service? So my students, when they graduated, they had a different need. They don't want tutoring anymore. So I didn't want to lose my students. So what I did, I said, listen, I'm going to create a coaching program that helps them apply for jobs. And so I started working with their LinkedIn, resume, etc. And for the early people who know me, I don't know if it's Colette or Hussein or Abid maybe, they probably use our services, one of our services, which is working on the resume, interview coaching, etc. Because that started 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, in 2012, when I stopped ACE Tutoring, and I built the Career Mentorship Program. Now that wasn't the end, because I started with that, and then I realized that those people, when they became actual employees, they don't have the need anymore for me. They don't have the need for a resume. They don't have the need for interview coaching, because they became employees. Now they're working. Which brought me to learn something called the customer journey, which is something today I work with the startups I coach. A customer journey is taking the journey of your customer as they grow, because you have to adapt your solution or product or service to their journey, to their need, not to your obsession, to their obsession. When they were students, they wanted tutoring. When they graduated, they wanted interview coaching. When they became employees, they wanted career coaching, how to become a better employee, how to communicate better. So I developed the program for that. And then Some of them have become managers. So what do? I go on LMI, the Leadership and Management Institute, and I study a leadership program. And then I started coaching them on becoming better leaders. And then, long story short, this is just an example of how Succeed and Lead was created. Today, as I showed you before, Succeed and Lead is one of the leading training and coaching companies. We have coached for the last 3 years, every single year, every leader in, for example, Sabline Cement. For the past 3 years, we have worked with MetLife Lebanon to coach their leaders every single year for the past 3 years. We have worked with Fitness Zone, all the branches. We've worked with Abaji. We've worked with a lot of companies in Lebanon and outside. We have partnerships, as I showed you. You've seen the partnerships. That happened because in every stage, I followed the needs of my customer. I didn't get obsessed only with my solution. If I got obsessed with my solution, I would have been just selling the private tutoring or the interview coaching. That's it. Now, what do I do today? I work with C-level people. So if you go to my LinkedIn, if you go and read the recommendations on my LinkedIn, again, to make this as genuine and credible as possible, you're going to see people with a C next to their name. CEO, COO, Chief Operating Officer, country manager, etc. So I went from coaching students, tutoring students, to now coaching CEOs on leadership and business and coaching startups. And this is one of the ways I did it. Instead of becoming obsessed with my solution, I became obsessed with people's needs, and I did a customer journey. And a customer journey is, I'm going to follow my customer journey from the moment they contact me to the moment they're done with the solution, to the moment after my solution. Because after my solution, I don't want to lose them. I don't want to lose Finn. I don't want to lose Abir. I don't want to lose anyone, right? So this is how Succeeding was created. Now, my 4 Ps that I told you about from the beginning when I was talking about the mindset and the mechanics, the 4 Ps of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not just about developing a product. It's about developing your personality, following your passion, and finding your purpose. Again, you might not hear this in a business setting. You might not hear this in an entrepreneurship setting. In entrepreneurship, you're going to hear a lot about the product, the money, the financials, etc., the numbers, which is important, but that's 1 P. What I found is who Samer becomes in the process of entrepreneurship is more important than the product he creates. And let me give you an example. The biggest companies you know today, for example, if I get the sticky notes, the yellow, who knows the yellow sticky notes? Right? Everyone knows the yellow sticky notes. We usually have them on our desk. Tonight, I don't have any, but the yellow sticky notes by a company called 3M. Do you think 3M started by creating sticky notes? Tens of years ago, decades of years ago, when 3M started, it used to excavate mines. Again, 3M used to excavate mines. When they excavated mines, they stumbled upon, long story short, a material that was a little sticky. And they took it to the R&D, they changed the business model, and today they work with sticky notes along other things. Another example about a company who didn't do that, Kodak, right? Kodak, everyone knows Kodak, the camera company. They didn't follow the customer need. And what did they do? They're gone. I know I keep repeating it all over and over again, but it's about obsession with the customer's needs. So I want to allow for more space to have a conversation, but further tools, if you have a business or starting a business or you need to develop your business, take a photo of this. Business Canva is a good start. If you cannot find a financial expert to write a financial study for you, a business proposal for you, you can start with a Business Canva. It's a visual where you can plug and play with everything. And you're going to have a full plan. Ikigai, it's a good example where you match your passion from one side with a market need from the other side, etc., etc. MVP is my message to everyone here, because everyone is obsessed with having the most perfect product. But In entrepreneurship, there's something called MVP, the minimum viable product you can come into the market. Don't wait for the best. Come in with a minimum viable product. I'm going to give you an example with a minimum viable product, and that started on a conversation when we were having with one of our attendees who's dropped in, Hussein. We were having a chicken sandwich, and so we had an idea about doing a project. That project was barely an idea. It wasn't perfect. We started it. It has a lot of defaults, a lot of problems, but that was okay for me because I believe in MVP, minimal viable product. So we started it. And then the more we go, the more we tested, the more we improved it. And then we had the successful rate because we did actually 20 out of 100. I cannot give you more information because it's confidential. But anyway, we did 20 of that product out of 100. But now, long story short, today we're partnering with one of the best researchers in the MENA region on that idea because they loved it. And when we approached them, all over the years, we were perfecting that idea. We were testing it with a minimal viable product. If we came to them with a raw idea, they could have probably denied it. They could have probably said no to it. And this is what I want to tell you. Everyone has ideas. Don't just go with your idea to an investor and say, I have a great idea. Investors want to see at least a working model. So it could be a minimal viable product. It could be some sales. It could be at least subscribers. I know of a service in Jordan who did a freemium. A freemium means you subscribe for free and then you can pay for premium. Anyway, they grew to 250,000 free subscribers. 250,000 free subscribers. It's an online platform similar to Coursera, but in Arabic. And it was free. There was no sales. There was nothing. But they had subscribers. So something was working out there. So either have subscribers with a freemium or actual sales or anything beyond just an idea. Because now investors want to invest in something called the people, the opportunity, and the context. So when investors look to invest, they look for 3 or 4 variables. One of them is the people. I like Bara, but Bara, who's her partner? Would she fight with her partner along the way? Do you know that one of the biggest reasons startups fail is because of the partnership? You wouldn't have believed it. I tried it myself. I had different partnerships in different companies, aside the companies that I've shared with you. I had partnership in genomics. I had partnership in the catering. I had partnership in the finance. I had different partnerships. And these partnerships failed because one of the reasons we couldn't agree with the other partners. They had different strategies. We had different communication. So people is one of the things an investor look for. Number 2 is the actual plan. Number 3 is the context. Like, okay, what do I get as an investor, etc. Number 5. So these are just, triggers for you to think further. The Lean Startup, there's a book called, I guess, The Lean Startup you can find it online. It's very famous. It's somewhere you can start with and start reading. For sure, I mean, I don't want to pitch myself or try to sell my services here, but anyone who's interested in further coaching with me, they can have a business transformation. They can go to my website, imadabouKhalil.com, click on business transformation, sign up, and start working with me one-on-one. But now I also have something else with you, and Pablo is going to tell you more about it, which is the Leadership Bootcamp MBA, which is also a good start for this. Now, Pablo, before going further, I want to open this space for questions. I can feel that Samer and others, Noor maybe, and Christelle could have a lot of questions. So now the floor is yours, everyone. Basel, Marianne, Colette.
Yeah, I can start.
Samer.
So thank you, Imad, for am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So thank you, Imad, for this interesting presentation and the story behind it. So my only question, the first step is the hardest step. How to start? Knowing that we have the knowledge, we have the background, motivation only isn't enough. So how to start in order to keep the same pace? So second step, third, fourth, fifth.
Okay, let me answer you and answer to everyone because everyone needs to hear this. How to start with the first step. Let me ask you. You know better. You tell me today, and I know that inside you have the answer, but you just don't want to do it or you're denying to do it. But if I ask you today, what's the next step you need to do to start your business? What would it be? What's your answer?
Just to be consistent.
But what's the first step? What's the first tangible step? Is it going to the market? Is it posting on social media? Is it calling a client? Like, what's tangibly the first step?
No, it's about preparing the business plan. So I need to break down the business plan into its components and start doing it one by one, chapter by chapter.
You start with a business canvas. Because business canvas builds the business plan for you. Okay, done. You have it ready. What's next?
Definitely, I need to do a market study to check.
You did it. You did it with
with
a business plan. You did it with a business plan. The business canvas done. Market study done. Clients done. Next.
Definitely, I need to seek an advisor to have another opinion, a second opinion.
Great. You got the advisor done. Next.
Next, seek funding. Let's say it's not a big amount, so maybe we can depend on my pocket, friends, family.
You got the money. Next.
The hardest part to launch the business.
Okay.
Launch the business, to start it.
Great. Okay. What if I tell you that you can launch it today without all of this? And my question is, what's the minimum viable product you have today or you can build today? The very lowest minimum viable product, not the perfect product, the minimum viable product that you can launch today without all of this. And then all of this, you can learn it as you go. So instead of waiting for this to be ready, you have all this time to actually perfect it through practice, not through preparation. Again, you perfect it through practice, not preparation. So what's the minimum viable product you can start today in the market today?
My knowledge and experience.
Okay, so what exactly you're going to sell? What exactly you're going to sell today?
So I have many ideas. Let's say one of them is food catering.
So you have many ideas. One of them is food catering?
Food catering business, yes.
Great. So in the food catering business, what's the first thing you need to do today without all this preparation?
Definitely, I believe that I need to partner with someone who has deep knowledge in this field.
You got the partnership done. You got the partnership done. What's the next step?
To start the business and learn along the way, but definitely it's risky.
What does starting the business mean? What does it mean selling something? What does it mean exactly?
To start promoting for my brand, to start preparing some meals and selling them.
That's it. Start preparing meals. That's what you need to start. That's what you're afraid of. That's where you need to start. You need to start preparing meals. People will love them. As they love them, they're going to buy them. As they buy them, you're going to get the money. As you get the money, you're going to start funding it, getting it logo, etc. So you work it in reverse. So that part will come later because you're going to have enough money, enough testing, enough feedback from clients, enough promotion by actually making the work that you're not doing, which is preparing the meal. So what do you need to do today? Do the meal, prepare the meal. Let us all taste it, and test it. That's it. That's your answer. That's your minimum viable product. Perfect. Who's next? Estelle, Basil, Anthony, Colette, Abir, Noor.
Okay, I can go.
Yalla, Noor and then Colette.
So the thing is, I've come to realize out of experience that the more you delay the idea of starting your own business, the harder it gets, or the more excuses you start giving.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like I personally, for example, have a full-time job, and I've tried many times, like just on my own, to start my startup along the way, but like every time I pause, because really you can never imagine the load that comes on you. So how and you feel that there's a block that you face every time, and this affects your motivation. So what is something in you I can do as a full-timer to break this to break
I have a
barrier?
question for you. Did you take a
Yeah.
decision to start your business? Back to the first slide. Did you take a decision to start your business?
Yes.
No.
At
See
point,
that
point.
see that delay when you said yes? That's not a decision. When you take a decision, you say, fuck yes, I'm going to start my business. You don't say yes. And that, I want to ask you, that time you took to say yes, it's all the hesitance and fear. So Noor, what are you afraid of?
Like going into a burnout, because many times I've tried and to do both at the same time, and I just get burnt out big time, physically and emotionally. So and I can't afford like to take a break from my full-time job. It just doesn't make sense to lose on all your income to follow your.
So perfect.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to break out, and that's why I said entrepreneurship is more about the mindset than the mechanics, because what's preventing you is the mindset, it's the emotion. What if you take some money off your current employment, use it to pay someone to do the work for you so that they can get you started until you're ready?
I tried this one time, and then the person turned out to be not the right fit. So actually, I lost more time, and I reached my burnout point just faster. It was a failed attempt. I know I can try again, but again, you go back and tell yourself, is it really worth it now? Maybe I wait. Maybe.
So it's not about employing the right person. It's about a partnership with the right person.
Yeah, but that takes me to how can I find the right person?
Yeah, you need to know exactly what kind of partner you're looking for. Who's the person who can add value to you, who can do the work that you're not doing, who have the entrepreneurship spirit inside of them, who are eager and passionate about your idea, and you can work it out. And that's why I said one of the reasons investors look for is the right people, the right partnerships. And so if you're gonna stay there and instead of employing someone and having a failed experience, what if you partner with someone? And instead of fighting yourself over a little grape, how about you partner with someone over a watermelon? Which means a lot of times we don't partner with other people because we don't want them to have 50% of our business. But I'd rather someone have 50% of my watermelon than I have 100% of a grape. So what you need to do is to write down what exactly, are you married?
No.
Okay. Engaged?
No, single.
In a relationship?
No, single, to cut it short.
Have you ever been in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay. The same way you have certain criteria for the man you're looking for, or a woman for that sake, for the person you're looking for, you need to have a criteria for the partner you look for. And my failed attempts in the partnership that I told you about in genomics, catering, etc., taught me, because they failed, what kind of partner I look for. The same way I learned from my emotional experiences and relationships, what kind of partner I look for today. My question to you, Noor, if you find the right partner with the right values and the right vision, who's willing to do the work for you, where would your business be in a year?
I think I would be rolling well.
Okay, what's your business?
It's copywriting agency. Arabic
Copywriting
first.
agency. Yeah, that's why you cannot do it on your own, because you have to give your own time.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Noor. Colette?
Yes, hello, Imad, hello all. I was just listening to this great approach for the business and all the steps that you've went through to achieve what you are doing now, Imad. I don't have a question yet with all the intervention that you have. I just wanted to share one small experience that I had. I've been an employee for the past 22 years. And I had this big idea of having my own business, yet I've never had the power or the will or the force to try it up until I left my work. And I had the need to start something for me that is no other way to do it. And this need have like created this motivation. And to be honest, I started with an MVP, and I'm now heading after 2 years of my own business with a different model than what I've started. And the model have been growing throughout the research that we're doing, and specifically throughout the journey of the customers that we are being in contact with accordingly. And this is how you start selling, or your business is growing. So yes, I agree, Imad. Let's start. If you have the small idea, start. And you will see throughout your path that whenever you need the help of someone, you will be able to identify what kind of help you need. And this is where you will be challenging yourself and giving more. This is the success after all. So just I wanted to do to say this and emphasize on one more thing, because you have mentioned that we work into the design. We work on a solution when it comes to everything concerning communication, from communication strategy to design strategy to media strategy, content, all of this. And this is where it's all based on research. And you can never start any content, you can never start any campaign, you can never start anything concerning design unless you've done your thorough research when it comes to the market, to the competitors, to your platform, and to your position and unique selling proposition. So I just wanted to say that please start whatever you have in mind. Get the starting point, Samir. Go and start your meal, and you will see that across your path, you will see that you will have the ideas, you will have the evolution, and you will see the need of your customers. And this will come as long as you're doing it with passion, knowledge, and research. And that's it.
Colette,
Thank you.
we've met. Did we meet 2019 or 2020? 2018?
No, 18.
18. So
19.
fast forward a couple of years, you leave your job. You don't have, not everyone has to leave their job, but Colette was saying when she left her job, when she became fearless, she became limitless. When she had nothing to lose anymore because she lost it all. Again, what I said when I said, when you think you lost everything is the moment you know that, you've gained everything else. So that's also one way of doing it. Congrats, Colette. Kristal, do you want to share anything or ask anything? Basil as well?
Hello, everyone. Hope all is well. First of all, I would like to congratulate you. Amazing words said. I don't have any questions, but I would like to say something is that never be afraid to start something new and to even challenge yourself. This is after my experience in life. So just wake up one day and just say that today is the day. And that's it.
Yeah, I would add to it, my input to the Nike slogan. I was reading the Nike book. It's called Shoe Dog by the owner of Nike, the starter of Nike, called Phil Knight. Phil Knight is the owner of Nike. I'm reading his book called Shoe Dog, and how he came up with the Nike name and the Do It slogan. And I created my own slogan, which is Do It Now. Not only do it, but do it now. Do it this tonight. If you don't do it tonight, you're not going to do it tomorrow. Everyone says they're going to start diet on Monday, and they never started on Monday because they said Monday instead of tonight. So I say, do it now. In the chat, please type, do it now. And so who else? Anthony, do you want to ask anything? Basil, do you want to ask anything?
Hi, Imad. No, basically, I think I'm good. I don't have any questions. Actually, I have a business I've been working on for the past almost a year. But basically, I've been delaying the start of the business because it's not perfect. But basically, I think I'm going to go with the MVP. the idea that
Yeah.
you were sharing about starting with anything to test the market, to test
Yeah.
the product, and to test everything. So basically, that's it.
Perfect. Great. Pablo, I'll give you the floor, and then we'll see who else has a question.
Perfect.
Pablo, stop
Okay,
sharing.
Matt. Perfect. So first of all, I would like to talk very quickly with Karam Nemer. Karam, are you there?
Hello, Pablo. Yes, I'm there.
Hello, how you doing, mate?
I'm great. Thank you.
Great. Karam is one of our students at the Leaders Bootcamp MBA, and he's a psychosocial support facilitator for SAT, a non-profit association. So, Karam, tell me, how has been your experience at the Leaders Bootcamp MBA so far?
Okay, great. Hello, all. I'm Karam Namer. I'm a student at the Leader Bootcamp. This experience has greatly helped me in developing my skills and abilities in the field of entrepreneurship and leadership. It enhanced all my knowledge and training abilities, which have positively impacted my current role as HR officer and youth skills trainer at Shahid Association. All the courses were designed professionally and clearly, aiding in understanding and mastering them. They helped me to develop communication and pitching skills, accounting, finance skills, business growth, and leadership. In addition to digital marketing, with the ability to plan, develop, and create ideas and business plan through business model canvas that is capable for a change. It's very beneficial. It's a very interactive and practical one that really benefited me.
And has it changed your perspective and the way you think of your professional future? So, would you consider at some point maybe to create your own business?
I hope so. I'm working. I'm working on that to develop
Perfect.
my own business, but nothing is clear till now.
Okay,
Perfect.
perfect. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to talk to Bara Hamidi. She's a business development manager at Entreprenergy. She connects business to opportunities. Hello, Bara. How are you?
Hello, Pablo. How are you? Hello, everyone. Hello, Mr. Imad. How are you?
Oh, good. Thanks. So tell me,
Amazing.
when it comes to connecting business to opportunities, what knowledge taken from the Leaders Bootcamp MBA are you applying on your day-to-day?
Okay. I can say that I like the module number 1, I believe it is, about the business model, right? By Mr. Juan, I guess his name is. So it is
Yeah.
one of the best, most informative trainings on business model. And I believe knowing about the business model aids in connecting businesses to opportunities. And it does so by providing insights into value proposition, core operations, and target markets. And this helps in, like Mr. Imad said, in partnerships and finding opportunities and making strategic decisions and spotting opportunities that complement your strengths and finding the right market. Yeah.
So are you considering to go for the an entrepreneurship, or are you doing it right now?
I'm currently doing it with my job at Entrepreneurity. Yeah. I'm
Perfect.
helping my CEO do that. Exactly.
Thank you, Bara. So what Pablo and what Bara and what Karam are referring to is a partnership that we did with the Leaders Bootcamp, who is represented tonight by Pablo. And with the Leaders Bootcamp, we built an online disruptive MBA. And what I mean by an online disruptive MBA is now you don't have to pay $10,000 or $20,000 to do an MBA.
Yeah.
We created this MBA by instructors who actually have their own businesses, like myself. So myself, I'm responsible for chapter number 10, I guess, or module number 10. There's another instructor who's also an entrepreneur who built module number 1. So all modules are built by actual entrepreneurs and business owners. And together we build this MBA. There's a lot of videos by the founder of Wakilni, Yusr. There's a lot of videos by the founder of, ladies know this more than men. The founder of Field 22, Maurice Matta, we interviewed him. So today, what do we have, Pablo? What do you have for us in the link?
Well, I have shared a link to the platform itself, so everyone just can take a look. Even they have the free module, the module 0. So this is open to anyone, so they can just try and taste the program. And well, I would like to give you like some information about what we are offering right now. Let me go to the page 2. Okay, so this MBA, of course, can you see the screen? Okay.
Yes.
So this MBA is specifically created for entrepreneurs, but not only for them, because maybe you want to grow your leadership at your company, or you are thinking about a corporate solution for your business. You are part of a human resources team, or you are already part of a bigger company, but you will get all the insights, as Karem and Bara mentioned before. You will get all the insights just to grow, to
Pablo,
think
can we
of.
go to the can we go to the modules to see what's in the modules, what they can have access to? I remember there's communication, digital marketing, leadership. They can study all of this
Yeah, of course.
at their own pace from actual practitioners and instructors.
So let
So
me.
if we can go to the modules, so they can know what they can have access to.
Yeah. So there you go. So we start with the initial point with the different lessons. These ones are open, so you can
So
just
there's
go and check
yeah,
by yourself.
there's the open, there's entrepreneurship. If we can go back just to the
And you have some content about etiquette, about Maurice Matar, the previous CEO of Field 22, a masterclass. You have another masterclass by Yusr Sabra. You have a different content as an initial point, but we want to cover the whole journey that you have to make in order to create a business. So we are thinking to start, of course, with the entrepreneurial mindset, because you will need to have an idea, an additional idea. You need to create a model canvas. You need to put the origin of anything in there. Then we have communication skills with the pitch, digital transformation, digital marketing and growth hacking. We have soft skills. We have finance. We have leading people and organization, which is the one that the Imad has done with us. And there's another one coming, which is project management. Whether you are part of a really small company, you are on your own, or a bigger one, you will need to manage all of the projects at some point. So
Pablo, what we agreed upon with the Leaders Bootcamp is to honor your commitment tonight. For those who who showed up tonight, to honor your commitment, they're going to be receiving. They're going to be receiving, how much is it? A 15% discount?
Yeah, let me go and.
Yes, please. And to share with them the coupon code. So if anyone signs up tonight until Sunday, because this promotion is running for Sunday. Why is it only running for Sunday? For one reason, because you have to take a decision. Because if you're going to keep waiting and contemplating and thinking, you're never going to take a decision. So it's valid till Sunday.
Until Sunday, 72 hours, 50% off. You have the full program. Plus 150 video classes. You have online support. You have 1 year unlimited access. And because you are attending this webinar, you will have early bird access to our February cohort. So you can start from next week. Instead of waiting until February, you will have guaranteed access to our next webinars. And apart from all of these, you will have 4 bonuses. We have ebooks on entrepreneurial essentials, public speaking, growth hacking, and time management. If you were to the market, one product like this wouldn't cost less than $1,600. and it usually we usually have the price, special price of 495, but during these 72 hours, the price will be 420 using the coupon Imad iPhone TLV. I will copy the coupon on the chat. So you have 72 hours to make a decision. As Imad said, it's time to do something now, not tomorrow, but today. So I will share the enroll link as well, and I will show you very quickly that it's just about to go to the link, add to cart, and include the coupon Imad TLV just to get the discount.
Perfect.
So it's up to you guys, but time is
Perfect.
flying.
Thank you, Pablo. Thank you,
No
Pablo,
problem.
for this. And again, this is to honor your commitment to today and to take your step, to take it a step further. Again, you can press the link, use the coupon, etc. Thanks, Pablo. Now, again, if anyone has a question, if anyone want to add anything, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If anyone want to leave, that's fine for me, but I'll stay with anyone who has a question. So anyone who has the urge to leave, we're done for tonight, but I will stay for everyone who had a question to answer your questions to make sure that you took full benefit of today's webinar.
Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna drop out. Have a great night, and thank you for having us, Imad. Best of luck.
Thank you, Samir.
Thank you, Imad. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you.
Thank you, Rizwan.
By the way, thank you, Khadija. Noor, how did you know about the webinar? Are we connected on LinkedIn? If not, please connect with me on LinkedIn.
No, we are connected and I'm
We
about
are?
to send it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll check your profile as well. Marianne, any questions? Any questions?
No, thank you, Imad. I think I'm good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Abir, Kristal,
Thank you, guys. It was amazing.
always
Thanks for
good to
coming.
have you.
Nice to meet you all.
Same here. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.